So we're going to continue on this morning. We're delighted that we have 5 more short presentations this morning, and then we're also looking forward after lunch to a panel discussion and to opening it up to you guys to have a more open chat from the floor about all the issues and thoughts and ideas that have come up over the course of the day. There are also some brochures on your chairs that give a kind of an outline of the format for the day, and also more detailed biographies for the participants and speakers during the day if you want to find out a bit more out about anybody at all. We're going to kick off this session after the break with a discussion with Rosaleen McDonagh. We're going to hear from a playwright. Rosaleen has been at the forefront of challenging, provocative work for theatre for quite a while. We've had a great pleasure in Fishamble of working with her on 2 occasions. Once with her play Rings, which we produced in the Project Art Centre and then in the Kennedy Centre in Washington, D.C. And then more recently a co-production with Project last year when we co-produced Mainstream. And it raised all kinds of interesting questions and issues, particularly about the representation of travellers and people with disabilities on Irish stages. So she's going to be talking to us in conversation with Jen Coppinger. So we're delighted that Jen has stayed with us to come back a second time. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Jim. Hi, everyone. I'm back. So it just struck me in the brief conversation that Rosaleen and I were having right before this one that earlier on all the statistics we were looking at were all regarding gender and nothing really to do with diversity. So I suppose just to kind of open up that provocation, I would like Rosaleen to respond to that.
How do you respond to that?
Yeah.
You know, I'm tired of having to live it, having to talk it, having to represent it, and then having to write it.
Yeah.
I hope we're moving. I know this is a cliche, but I mean, I know in my community and the world I live in, be it travellers or writers with disabilities, we're there. And in the past, women used the glass ceiling. We talk about the concrete block that's in our way, but nonetheless, we're chipping away.
Yeah.
And I do think Irish theatre is far poorer because of its lack of colour and texture around diverse ethnicities and diverse realities. I think we're all the more poorer for it.
I would agree. And what does that mean for you as a writer? Like when you are, it's a lot of pressure to have that on your shoulders. How do you cope with that?
Well, yeah, I suppose when I was younger I was much more brazen and, you know, I'd be full on. And I suppose as I've gotten older I realised actually I need my energy for my work, not to be wasted by way of charting. I mean, if you look at it like this, plain and simple, access and representation within the arts. If you start off with the Arts Council, and for me, they're not a moniker of good practice. I mean, they're in a building that I can't get in.
Yeah.
That means hundreds and thousands of people like me will never work there, will never sit on the board, will never be on education panels, will never be a staff member of the Arts Council. So I suppose with that in mind, I said, well, I need to diverse my talents if I have. I remember having a conversation with Jim, and I was saying the life of a playwright is very sporadic. I know this morning Caroline mentioned mostly men who had 14 or 15 plays over a 10-year period. I won't have that. And I think, not because of my impairment, but because of the world we live in, by way of artistic commercialism, it's no longer a play now it's about money and marketing, and I'm not always sure that we're vying against Netflix and all that. So I suppose for me, I deal with it by writing for radio, writing for TV, writing as a journalist. I've been really lucky, and again that luck was mostly Fishamble opened the door. They didn't necessarily have a prerequisite about diversity. Jim never sat down and said, I want to play about travellers, I want to play about women with disabilities, or I want to play about this and that. I presented them the work, and within that I suppose there was a kind of an acknowledgement that it would be difficult by way of, if you're a playwright and you're writing about the world you know and love and understand, and then you realise we've one or two male actors who are travellers. We have no females. We have no, I don't know them, and researched the length and breadth of Ireland. We've no actors who are out about being disabled. They may well be disabled, but they won't get work when they come out. So I suppose for Jim and Fishamble and me embarking on a relationship about writing and theatre, and it's not been easy for them. I think it's been very easy for me. I just write the plays, and they have to deal with the fallout or the
consequences of the casting.
Of taking on someone like me. And I think it's very admirable.
It is, but it shouldn't be that extraordinary to write a play that has has a character with a disability. That shouldn't be such a difficulty to cast, but yet it seems to be difficult for those with a disability to work.
I'm honoured and minded. I've seen a lot of work by disabled artists and theatres who are diverse, and I'm still brought back to Tennessee Williams' Last Menagerie. It took 30 years after that play was written, 25 productions before they got an actor like Laura with an impairment. It took an awful long time. And that's, I feel, you asked me about being a writer. My job is, I suppose, for the generation of women and men, but mostly women, who are coming under me. And they're chiseling away women who are travellers, women with disabilities, who have chosen a huge, it's a very harsh environment to be a writer.
You have to be very brave.
Yeah, and also within our communities, particularly with the traveller community, you're not applauded. You're disgracing your families. People think you're exposing secrets of a culture that, and the reality is, most of the time, the nuances of settled culture and traveller culture are very subtle. But it's, and we move on.
And I suppose we were also talking about, you know, diversity in the broader scheme as well, in terms of, you know, people coming from working class backgrounds, people coming from areas of poverty, essentially, and not knowing how to navigate the theatre industry and the theatre landscape. So I think you should be really applauded for trailblazing that as well.
But I think we have to remind ourselves, when we talk about diversity, what does it mean? For me, it's about poverty, it's about lack of educational opportunities, it's about not going to theatre college, it's about not having the opportunity of being able to do a playwriting course. It might be about, I was on a panel last week and there were 5 other panelists who were non-disabled and very settled in all its
connotations.
Yeah, and one of them pointed out that an applicant hadn't filled out the submission properly. I remember, I saw what she saw that wasn't on the page. And that was about not knowing, not being able to spell, not being able to have a network around you and say, will you help me do this? Or how do I fill out a form? I know that's very basic, but for some people that's that.
Well, maybe we should challenge everyone in the room to try and help people in applications, give them a bit of assistance, give them some advice.
Panelists, we need to be aware.
Yeah.
You're there to get people through. You're not there to, whittle out the rubbish.
Yeah.
They're not rubbish.
Great. Can I ask about your own work and how you've worked in terms of working with dramaturgs in the past, working on various shows, how that's gone?
Not very well, apart from Jim. I suppose, first of all, there was a lot of sexism, a lot of this is the way we do things. And I'm not talking about the formula of playwriting. I'm talking about the step before that, when people actually, one person said to me, you have to be on time. And I said, but you were late. I was here, during one of my productions, the director said, travellers drink a lot. And I said, what are you saying? And he said, well, I'm just saying travellers drink a lot. And I said, well, I've never been drunk in my life. But it's that subtle racism and sexism that I suppose it's very difficult to call it out when it's the hand that's feeding you.
Yeah.
And also, as an older woman, I would be very clear about who I'd want to work with and who I wouldn't. I think at the moment, I'm not sure if other playwrights or female writers have experienced the backlash towards waking the feminists. I know I've certainly have had 2 particular experiences where men expressed the opinion that we just need a woman. We just need a woman to get the funding.
Dear.
And then I got told by a non-disabled male playwright who was working with a male director who was writing a play about disabled men. And they had it all sewed up. And then I remember it was the 17th of November, I got this email saying, there's no need to read it, just can we put your name on the application? I'm thinking, why would you do that? Why would you, I'm a feminist. Do you think I'm thick?
And but I suppose, there's also the kind of the positivity of like feeling probably outside of a club at one point of your life, and then very much in a cornerstone of the Irish theatre community. What's that like now? Well, we all do.
Well, I think there's something about a cultural, as a cultural spectator, as a critic. It's okay to be on the outside, but one thing that really, really changed everything for me was during the Carrickmines tragedy on the third day, where the Rockville Road residents turned their back on the debris of the fire. I remember Jim phoned me, and we weren't working together. I wasn't over any deadlines. We were busy doing our own thing. And he rang to just say, are you okay? And for me that was about community, that was about respect and acknowledging where people are. In the same way that when Tom Murphy I'd pass on my
your sympathies.
No, but it was about going that extra mile. There's also a thing about being a member of a stona and recognising that your peers respect you. And you don't always realise that and then you think, fuck it, I'm in the club.
You can invite new people into the club now. It's great.
Oh, but I'll remember.
Yeah. So do you have advice for people today? Because I think that it's really important for us all to take on some responsibility here when it comes to diversity, when it comes to helping the next generations.
Then I'm not one for giving advice. And as you well know, I'm a bad role model. I did everything the wrong way around. But I would say that I suppose those of us who are perceived to be from diverse backgrounds have a responsibility. And what I mean by that is, and I've done it and I will continue to be sitting on the outside, giving out about people. But last January, was it February, March, Puff Baby.
Yeah.
And they were doing a series called
Where We Live in the Complex, yeah.
I thought they were cool and sexy and cutting edge and I remember just saying, I'm going to ask them, can I be part of it? And so a bit of it was me not waiting.
Yeah.
Me saying, look, I have something good to offer. And that piece will be on radio now.
Great.
And that started with just saying to Billy, you're not as cool as you could be.
Fair enough. We're going to be running out of time now in a minute and 45 seconds. So does anyone have any questions for Rosaleen before we drop the mics?
No, that was a
yeah.
no.
Great. We might. Yeah.
You mentioned like people who probably haven't ever had the chance to just go to playwriting courses or anything like that. How do you progress without having that as someone in the very beginning?
Well, it's that old chestnut, isn't it? That can you be taught writing, or is it bit of both. Gavin and Jim will tell you, I still have problems with structure. You know, I always need a dramaturg, and that's fine. But I think it's not so much what you do, or it's just being aware that other people don't have that opportunity. And just being aware. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's great.
It's not a very profound answer, but...
Yeah, no, it is. Okay, so let's all be aware. Thanks, Rosaleen.